Hello and welcome back to the review on the wrestling and another edition of AEW Collision Out of 10. And yeah, it's an intriguing episode of Collision this week with several matches advertised, including the Trial of Madness versus Willow Nightingale, Queen Aminata and Team Mello, Jet Speed and World Champ Adam Page taking on LFI, but kicking off the show a big match for the TNT title, Cole Fletcher versus Ishii, with Paul Walterhauser on commentary. Fletcher decided to begin the match with an exchange of strikes, with Ishii more than happy to dish out his own. They traded dozens of forearms before the Stone Portball scored the first takedown with a clothesline. There were several moments where Fletcher was trying to prove he was a tough competitor, only for Ishii to remind him that he's one of the toughest. He unleashed several brute chest chops against the protestar to bruise his chest. To absolutely no one's surprise, this is a hard-hitting competitive fight that pitted a young champ and a decorated veteran. Both look great, but we know how it would end. Fletcher only just won the title from Dustin, so there's zero chance of it being lost. This was a strong performance from both, and after a few calls, Fletcher scored the win with his signature brainbuster. I'll give it, 6 out of 10. A solid but predictable start to the show. Next up was a Megan Bain squash against Emily Rose. Barely lasted a minute. The Megasis won with ease, and there's not really much more to say. As we then got Ricochet taking on Juice Robinson, who was accompanied by Austin Gunn, who surprisingly didn't have Bishop Khan and Toa Leona on his side. They started off with simple lockups, but Rico took a moment to regroup after Juice countered the kick. He knocked over a cardboard cutout with Jay White before getting a bell to the ring. Robinson maintained the upper hand for the first several minutes. He had Ricochet's number and kept sleeping his bald head to get pops from the crowd. Leona showed up on the stage to provide distraction so Khan could sneak in and slam Juice on the floor. We returned for a break to see Ricochet still in control as Robinson began to fight back. While Gates of Agony were fighting at ringside, Big Bill delivered a beat to Robinson that allowed Ricochet to get the win. The match had good moments, but it had a little too much interference for our taste. So on the whole, it gets a 6 out of 10 from me. We then got Dax Hard, Cash Wheeler and Stokely Hathaway in trio's actions against local talents. Halfway through away his crutches, showing he's no longer injured. The three managed to get little offense, but FTR hit a shatter machine and then held out one of the jobbers for a spike pile driver from Stokes, giving the win. It wasn't quite as squashy as the Bane one, but it was close. Another kind of waste of time. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Next week, Ketch Stereo will compete in a fatal four-way, but this week he battled AR Fox in singles bouts. Fox wasn't looking to be overlooked just because he got the jobber entrance for this one. He came right out of the gate hot and H Zero on the defence right away. They fought for a break and we returned to see the Alchemist controlling the pace. Fox still getting in some offence, but not as much before, and H Zero got the victory to build a lot of momentum for next week's. This was a decent match, but they didn't push the limits of what they're capable of at all. I'll go with 6 out of 10. And as for that match next week, could it be Nigel McGuinness versus ZSJ? Yes, please, especially in the UK. The Trial of Madness versus Nightingale, Aminata and Mello was up next. And Aminata took control early, but Blue and Hart immediately came in and helped Thekla take over. Every time the babyfaces were getting the upper hand, the other team would break some rules to regain control. Even when Nightingale was physically dominating one or two women, the third would sway things back to their side. A decent trios bout that allowed all 6 competitors some time to show off. But in the end, it was Blue who got the pin for her team. On the whole, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was a decent match without really being madly remembered. 6 out of 10. Max Caster came out to issue another open challenge. He said he outlasted Rush last week, even though he spent 5 minutes having his butt kicked. He was not happy to see Shibata answer his challenge. The wrestler used his striking ability to control the first minute, but Caster almost won with a roll-up. Shibata won in just over 2 minutes with a PK and offered Caster his hand. Caster shook it and gave him a hug. LFI showed up and attacked both men, but Jet Speed made the save to set up the main event. Could we be getting something more from the storyline? Who knows? Hopefully for Max Caster's sake. Before we got Jet Speed and Adam Page taking on LFI. It was a standoff until Page made an entrance, and Hangman and Mortis started off with a fast-paced exchange, but Rush ended up tagging in for a showdown with the World Champ. LFI triple team Page until Speedball and the Jet evened the odds. All 6 of these guys are tremendous performers in different ways, so they had no problem putting on an entertaining show for the crowd. Hangman found himself being isolated for a long time, but Jet Speed was able to help him get enough time to recover. After Bailey and Knight hit some big dives to take out Mortis and Rush, Page finished off with just to go with buckshot to get the win. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's good to see Hangman on Collision, and I thought, on the whole, this was a really fun show. So definitely worked well for me. 7 out of 10. Saturday's Collision had a few inconsequential matches that kept this from being an above average episode, but it still had some highlights. Both trios matches provided some fun, especially in the main event, but the bout that saw the show was featuring Ishii's title fight. It was also good to see the world champion on a show, and I still think Forbidden Door is shaping up to be an intriguing card. So yeah, on the whole, 6 out of 10 from me. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.